Hello, hello. My name is Jason Allen. I'm a realtor based in Palm Springs, California. And each week I like to do a market report focusing on one of the four cities that I do most of my business in. This week, it's Palm Desert. If you give me just a moment, I'll bring up the charts and we'll dive right in. First chart I'm going to use is provided by Desert Dynamics. If you'll notice towards the top here, it says Palm Desert, California, single family homes. This is for June of 2025. If we start down, we see unit sales, 80 units. So 80 homes sold. That's down 4.8% versus June of 2024, about 5%. So we see fewer buyers in the marketplace. Median price, $625, down a little over 5% from June of 2024. Median, once again, is the house in the middle or the number in the middle, half above, half below. We choose the median as opposed to the average because you can have a very high sale or a very low sale that's skewing your data. Median selects a consistent number across multiple months. So in this case, I don't know if they chose the 39th house or the 40th house, but you get the idea, the house in the middle. Inventory is up a little over 10% from June of 2024 at 398 units. Days on market has increased to 74. That's up 21% from last year. Sales to list price. So 95.7%. This is an average. Again, averages can be skewed. Virtually all houses took some sort of a price reduction. We're going to come back to that with another chart that I'm going to use. If they had one or more price reduction, then they got less, 91.2%. And in each case, they're down about 2% from last year at the same time. Sales above list price, 27.5 compared to June of 2024. That's down 11.2%. So in June of 24, there were closer to 39% of the houses that went over asking. Month supply of inventory is up. We're now at 5.35, so a little over 5 months. And that essentially means that if we sold every single home that's available in Palm Desert, that's a single family dwelling, it would take about 5 months to absorb all of those. The median sales price of square foot is down 8.5% to $317 a square foot. Lastly, 20% of the homes sold within 30 days, 49% sold within 60, 66 sold within 90 days. My professional opinion is that the 20% that sold so quickly were the ones that sold for over asking. Condos go through the same numbers, a little quicker this time. Unit sales 39, that's down 36% year over year. Median sales price for a condo, $455,000, down 3.2% year over year. Inventory is up 25% at 398 units. Days on market is 94. So condos are taking even longer to sell. Sales to list price 97.2 on average. That's up 1% from June of 2024. Sales to original list price. So again, these are homes that took at least one price reduction, received 90% roughly of their asking price. Now, these are averages. They're useful simply in the context of looking at it month over month, year over year. It doesn't speak to individual cases. This is down 3.3% from June of 2024. Sales above list price, 20%. That's down 3.7% from June of 2024. Month supply of inventory has increased by 26% compared to a year ago. We now have 7 months of inventory for condos. Median sales price per square foot is $308. That's down 6.7%. 13% of these condos sold within 30 days, 44% sold within 60 days, and 69% sold within 90 days. The next chart I'm going to use is something I created using artificial intelligence. I have the ability to print reports for specific markets and identify sold versus original price. So the selling price versus the original price, feed that into an AI model and have it create what's called a scatter chart. This first chart is sales price versus original asking price for single family dwellings. And the moment you look at this, when you recognize this red line, diagonal red line, is the original asking price. All the blue dots are where prices or where properties sold. What do you notice? There's virtually nothing above the red line. I mean, you have some that are on the line or maybe slightly above it based on the scale. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, this graph actually goes way up here into a much higher. This is why we don't use averages in some cases because these are outliers. But you get the picture very quickly that most properties are selling under asking price. I'll show you the same thing for condos in that same market. And once again, you can see here very quickly, most properties are sold under. Now, why this doesn't align perfectly with the graphs that are provided by Desert Dynamics is that I'm using different windows of time. They did all of June. I went back 30 days for these particular charts. Now more than ever, it's going to be critical that you as a seller know what your timeline is and your motivation. It's a difficult market. There's no way to sugarcoat that. However, if you purchased your home before COVID, the phenomenal price increases of COVID, you will do fine. We have no idea what the market is going to do 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. I don't think we're going to see radical price drops because most people who've purchased their homes since the Great Recession have had to put 20% or more down, and they have equity. The greatest price reductions or losses, if you will, are going to come from those people who bought during COVID. If you're a buyer in this market, recognize that you have more choices. Interest rates are a little higher. Hopefully those will come down. But by the converse, they could go up if we don't see inflation come down again. If you are on the borderline, you're better off taking a home today that you can sell later when things improve. Otherwise, you could simply be priced out of the market. And if I go back to the increasing inventory, I'm going to repeat myself here and say that you have a lot more choices. What I'm also observing in the marketplace is that sellers don't want to invest in their property. And as a consequence, buyers who are extremely price sensitive to not only the purchase of the home, but any work that has to be done because of these concerns around tariffs and price increases, they don't know what a renovation is going to cost the way we could generally predict a year or two ago. You might say a modest bathroom, $15,000, a modest kitchen, $20,000 to $25,000. We can't do that today because we have no idea where prices are going to go. At the end of the day, real estate should be bought and sold based on your timeline and some sort of objective criteria that you've created for yourself. I want to move here. I have a new family member coming and I need a bigger house. My physical abilities have changed. I need to move from my 2-story home to a 1-story home. Make your choice, and then let's look at what the market will give you from a sales side or a buy side. I do this all day long for folks. I have no problem doing it for you. I spend an hour with each new client, and we look at your circumstances specifically to see if I can be of assistance to you. That's all I've got today. It's a pleasure for me to do these reports. If you have any questions, reach out and I'm happy to help you. Take care.